My name is Robin Oates, and I am from the Hardin County Community Coalition to Prevent Youth Substance Abuse from Hardin County, Ohio. The problem of practice that we engaged in is underage drinking among youth in Hardin County ages 12 to 20. I think the better question to be asked is, what tools didn't I use? Each tool had its own part. If I needed something right away, then that's OSET or OCAM, where they would answer those questions and provide clear direction and give me the best possible feedback that I needed. The webinars and websites are really good for the coalition members and myself to be able to go back and re-listen to items that we may have missed during the original webinar, or to go back and actually look at information that we wanted to hear a little bit more about. The parts of the Strategic Prevention Framework initiative that our coalition will continue to use is all of it. But what's been really important for us as a coalition and for me as a director is that data is so important, and what you can read about that data. Surveys are great. Qualitative data is important, and being able to read that qualitative data is something that I think is probably the most important thing that we'll take with us. We're going to be able to evaluate our strategy, which is Guiding Good Choices, because Guiding Good Choices has a pre-test and a post-test. We can look at those post and pre and look and see if a participant has increased their knowledge about underage drinking, if they've increased family communication, which we believe will lead to a decrease in underage drinking in Hardin County. We'll know if we've been successful, again, by a decrease in underage drinking among youth in Hardin County ages 12 to 20, an increase in family communication, and we think that's our two main objectives, is to increase family communication and decrease underage drinking. The parts of the evaluation process that the coalition will take with us will be all of it, but it's also the ability to read data. Are we making a difference? Did what needs to be increased, and did we want what needs to be decreased? So cultural competency informed our strategic planning in Hardin County based on language. We looked at two different strategies, and we had to decide what language spoke best to our community. I don't think parents want to hear how you're going to make them better parents. So professional language can be intimidating sometimes. So sometimes you just have to talk like you're talking to your friend. So it's not a parent class, it's a workshop, because a workshop talks about an exchange of ideas, and parenting is ever evolving and you're always looking for new ideas. The aspect for us of the SPF flower that required the most attention was implementation. We were diligent in what we chose based on the language that strategy spoke to us. It wasn't too far above someone's head. We also had to look at where we could implement that, what time of the day, what time of the week, what audience were we going to get at that particular time, and would we be able to serve them? The steps that we took to ensure cultural competency in the implementation part of the SPF was to make sure that we were available for audiences. What audience, what time of day, what worked best for the community. So 2 o'clock in the afternoon might be great for me, but what audience am I going to get at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Is that going to be parents, grandparents, professionals? So we had to be mindful of where we could host it and what audience we would get. The part of sustainability that we prioritize in Hardin County is probably what everybody else is, which is funding. We need a funding stream, a good funding stream, and so making sure that we know what grants are available and how to apply for them. And that goes hand in hand with building staff, printing copies, copiers, equipment. All of that kind of ties in one nice little bundle. So when we say funding, funding would cover structure and people. Our coalition decided what elements to sustain based on the work that we've done. So again, we know that data is important. We want to continue to collect data. We know that sustainability is important because we have a presence now in Hardin County. Our members are starting to be aware of the role that we can play in Hardin County, and so is our community. We're starting to be a presence that's known for being able to provide information and resource and evidence-based strategies. The most important lesson or lessons that our coalition learned engaging in the SPF process is that it is a process and you can't cut corners. Every flower petal is built on the next, so you can't have implementation without planning for that. You can't have sustainability without planning for that. You can't assess your county without knowing what information you need. So a lot of that we'll take with us. Again, implementation and sustainability is the biggest thing. Some of the tips I think I wish I would have known when I started on this journey of the strategic prevention framework was to maybe know prevention a little bit. I knew nothing. It's important to have partnerships. It's important to learn from those who know more than you. Your coalition isn't going to be at the same place that everybody else's is. We're probably a toddler, while Warren County is a teenager. So you have the ability to learn from others. Get to know your project directors because they have information that they're willing to share.